What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? How everybody doing this evening? How everybody doing? See who we got in the building tonight. The American Vagabond Abroad. I hope I pronounced that right. I hope I ain't butcher. He said, yes, man, had enough passport, fun, excitement, and adventure awaits. Okay, then you going to Argentina. What's up, man? I definitely want to go to Argentina one day, man. I heard they make the best steaks in the world. Y'all know I'm a steak guy. Jay Fleming in the building. Damn, bro. I'm like, what are the odds, bro? I'm like, me and my guest, we were literally just discussing you before we got on here, man. Good to see you here, bro. Cam 92, what's going on, my G? Diano, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Okay, we got a couple of remote workers in here already. LJG83, that's what's up. Okay. Oh wow. Do we got a Filipina in the building working remotely? Okay then. All right. I like it. I like it. What's going on, Nick? Sendo Console. Yeah, man. I think this is a great topic because I think this is something that's been requested for a while, and I see it in the comments all the time. So when he reached out to me, I mean, like I didn't hesitate. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. Definitely need to get you on here live, man, because this is highly requested. And I know a lot of guys, they want to transition to working remotely. so that way they can travel more freely and more frequently. See, Bluff City Nerd, what's good, brother? Lone Wolf 420. Yeah, man, that's what's up. Zeus, what's going on, man? The 6th region, what's going on, brother? Okay, I'm getting IT support specialist through Coursera via Google. Okay, then. We got 23 people in the building. Please hit the like button on the way in, you guys, if you haven't already. All right. Let's see. All right. I don't see. You know what? Okay, Trey in the building. That's what's up. Hey, Jay Fleming. Let me know if you still in the chat. Jay Fleming, you still there? Gonna say some. Cause here's what I'm gonna do, you guys. Cause I don't see any of my moderators here currently. Cause I was gonna say I was gonna go ahead and give you a wrench if you was. Let me see. Let me see here. All right, you guys. The guest that I'm bringing on, I'm gonna be dropping his website in the chat right now. All right, you guys. I'll make sure I put it up here too. All right, so any of my moderators pop up, I'll leave that up for a while so that way you guys can get access. Trey, yeah, all right. Hold on, Trey. Let me get you up. Let me get the YouTube up real quick. I'll go ahead and throw you one. Hold on. Cause ever since I came to Columbia, man, I'm not going live like the typical times I am. So I know some people probably aren't used to me, going live at certain times. Let me see here. Where are you at? All right, I got you, brother. All right. All right, Trey, you should be good now. And you know what? Just to be on the safe side, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw Fleming on there too, because I think Fleming, he moderates other people's too. So, and Fleming always showing up and showing love, man. Trey as well, man. Trey a real one, man. Like Trey is like big bro, man. Like real talk. Like, I mean, that's my G right there. All right. See, we got 34 in the building. Please hit the like button on your way in. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my guest. He goes by Kingsley, and that is his website that I got up on the screen now. All right. What's going on, sir?
Yo, what's going on?
Man, nothing much, man. I'm glad you was able to come on. I'm glad we was able to get this popping, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I really appreciate you being a fan of the channel for a while. So, want to provide some good information, relevant information.
All right, I'm like, just out of curiosity, I'm like, when and how long have you been watching my channel?
Ooh, I guess at this point, probably like 6, 7 months, I say.
Jesus Christ, are you serious?
Yeah.
You been watching that long?
Yeah, man.
Wow. Oh, nah, you a OG. You a OG. So
Oh,
you
that's
started
OG
watching.
time.
Yeah, because 6, 7 months, that's like around the time when like my channel really started taking off. Like
Yeah, I
six,
seen the numbers grow, man. I seen the numbers grow for sure.
man, yeah, even to this day, it's still kind of hard to believe. I'm like, I'm like, I tell everybody all the time. They ask me like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "Dude, I just kept my head down and kept grinding." I'm like,
Consistent. Yeah, very
that's
consistent.
all I can really tell you. Just kept grinding and being consistent. Because it was like one of my New Year's resolutions last year. Because be honest with you, I almost gave up on this. I really
Mm,
did. And what happened was I was going, I was on my YouTube just scrolling, and I don't know
mhm.
if you're familiar with MTR.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he had a community. He had a post up on his community post,
Hmm.
and he was showing his numbers of subscribers after having a channel for 2 years, and he only had a 420 subscribers. And I was
Mm.
like, I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, MTR got like over a 500,000 subscribers now. I'm like, okay, you know what? If he was at that point and was able to get to where he is now, okay, it'd be kind of dumb for me to just throw in the towel. You know what? Let me just stick my head down, keep grinding, and just see what come out of it, man. And then it was like July hit, and then it was just like crazy, man. Like,
Yeah, got momentum.
yeah, bro. That's exactly what it was. All right, so see, we got 44 in the building. Please hit the like button on your way in, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the website up. This is his website, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So my first question is let's just so we get this out the way because I know this is probably going to be one of the most asked questions.
Hmm.
Do you need to be college educated in order to get a remote job?
That is a very, very good question. Very good question. I will say it helps. It does help having a bachelor's degree. It helps. However, experience, honestly, can get you there. If you started working at, 16, 17, 18, and then have just had, a work resume for a while, it's been consistent, that also, can get you in too. So I would say both of those are equally important. So a high school diploma actually can do it. And I've seen remote roles that only require high school diplomas. So it's possible, but a degree just helps.
Okay, so well that's the case. Let's start there. Like what remote jobs like can you think of like off the top of your head that only require high school diploma?
Okay. So I have a list and I'm gonna put it in the private chat and it can be passed on.
Cool. Cool.
From First of all, my focus, I'm a research analyst and it's a non-IT role, and IT is talked about a lot and it definitely is beneficial to get into. But even within IT, some of the more customer facing parts, operations parts, like customer service, for example, but also possibly somewhere within marketing and sales. So those are the two there: customer service and sales. Sales is one where if you have the skill set for it or willing to build the skill set for it, then degrees don't matter at all, just experience and results there. Um, so that's off top. And then some creative fields as well. I have a friend who's a videographer, and I've helped him seek and secure some remote roles. If you can do creative talents like editing audio, for example, for people that need podcasts, that's even like a role for Apple. I'm not saying it's open right now, but because they have a whole podcast system, audio editors are in demand and video editors. So creative talents as well, where there's something that's more of the portfolio than a degree.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of guys becoming videographers and editing. Yeah, I've seen that's crossed my yeah, that's definitely crossed my desktop a few times.
Yeah, and
All right, I'm
especially
like,
like corporate creative work, like when big company, Delaware or something like that, Accenture just needs creative stuff. It's a lot easier than like most projects. They just make some PowerPoints and marketing videos.
oh, okay. Oh yeah. PowerPoint, yeah, that's easy. Wow, okay. Cool. All right. So what would you say, what would you say the jobs that require a little bit uh, you know, a college education or maybe like a certification?
Okay, so one of the ones I have in there is data visualization and data analyst. For the most part, this is a gem here. The role analyst. There's a lot of different kind of analysts: financial analysts, research analysts, things like that. Um, analysts, companies have them, thousands of them, and they do various roles, but that's a really good place to look. And if your specialty is writing and research, there's research analysts. If you're more on the, I'll say data visualization, its own thing. It's not quite coding, but it's its own skill set. That's a good one too. Let me see, more advanced skills. Mine is writing and research based, but having the degree does kind of help to, their the book sense to prove in a kind of way. And IT, the certifications, this is more so listening to other people, and when they talk about this theme, with everything, how Amazon, for example, Amazon Web Services, and with the automation wave that's coming, certifications are constantly evolving. But now, like Amazon Web Services, for example, that's a really popular one people are getting into. And then I think I even see people talk about it, CompTIA, or how you say it. That's a good one. And as well as, I can't believe I didn't mention this and put this one in there, tutoring. Because I don't think I mentioned this, but I actually speak 4 languages. I speak Spanish and French and Portuguese.
Oh, good God. You know what? I was gonna ask you if you spoke Spanish, but I'm glad I didn't, because I'm like a long ways from like being where I want to be. My Spanish is muy malo, muy malo.
You're in a good position though, because now your brain is gonna because you see it so much, and you might be in a situation where
Yeah,
you gotta communicate it. You're leveling up quick. But I
yeah,
mentioned the
it's
language
definitely
thing.
helping.
I mentioned a language thing to say, as well as my day job, which is like a salary thing. I also am a tutor for like a company online, so like a 1099, and it's part time, but that runs from, essentially I can work the hours I want between 9 to 5, and the other one runs from 9 to 5. So I got 2 computers like the Matrix, man. So that's, I would say, fortunate, but at the same time, it is not easy. That's a thing I have to say. Securing it can take months of interviews, and it's pretty frustrating. But once you finally do get in there, then it's gold. Just do what you got to do to maintain it. But tutoring is also a good one on the note of certifications. The TEFL, have you heard of that one? Be a teacher.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I had somebody on. I had somebody on here who did that before. Matter of fact, I think I just seen somebody in the chat. Oh yeah, yeah. Speak Spanish now. Yeah, because I'm like, he teaches Spanish. So yeah, man,
nice.
I'm hip.
Mhm.
I'm hip. That's starting to become a popular one. Even guys that teach English.
Yeah, I was just about to say, and being an English teacher too, if you're, how I say, willing to, I know like Vietnam, for example, they give like, I mean, don't quote me. This is from what I remember like 2 years ago, but the guy had an offer for like $3,000 a month for a job over there, and they had accommodations and all that stuff. So that's being an English teacher. So a lot of Asian countries, will pay good money for that. But there's a lot of programs internationally, generally, where you get paid and accommodation, a whole thing, a whole setup. So English teaching as well.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Vietnam, because I think like one of the first brothers I had on my channel that I interviewed, he teaches English, and he's living in Vietnam. And
Mm-hmm.
because we discussed a little bit of everything. Oh my God, when he told me the cost of living and in comparison
Mm-hmm.
to how much he's making just from teaching English, I was like, dude, you over there living like a king, man. So
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
got
hey,
some good setups, and then Hong Kong is a good one as well if you can get in over there. Because I mean, it's a pretty pricey place, but the job market is still, and that's the thing too. Working overseas, I guess I could transition to that, but it is possible. There are companies that are multinational. There was one, I wish I could remember it. I think it's like MetLife or something. Don't quote me on that, but an American company is opening a new data center in Medellin. So they're gonna hire locally, but if you just keep an eye toward American companies that are multinational, it's another way into. But I mean, that might require a degree or something or a skill set. But I mean, you never know. Like I said, with the creative roles, if you got the experience in the portfolio, then that's something to look out for. American companies that have a multinational presence.
oh, okay, cool, okay. I'm like, because I think he might have mentioned that too. Because I know people been like hounding me to get his information too. I'm like, but that live was so long ago. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm eventually I'm gonna have to reach out to him, or maybe I'll just reach out to you because I'm like Vietnam is probably going to be another destination in my future because I want to
But yeah, Da Nang, that's you'll
yeah,
hear that one again.
I want to see yeah damn, what is it? Yeah, the Golden Bridge. That's like on my bucket
Mm,
list. It's on my bucket
okay.
list. I want to see the Golden Bridge. Yeah. So let's see. So like, what would you say? Like, what's a good range as far as like the average pay for remote work? Like in your opinion, I know it probably depends on, depending on what jobs you're working. But if you
Mm,
had to like, if you separated the ones that require certifications or college education versus the ones that don't, what would you say
mhm.
is probably the average between the two?
That's an excellent question. So, for one, not only with my own experience, I consult and help other people find jobs. So, it gives me more information and census data from different industries, as well as me working in multiple stuff. So, for example, the tutor job I had, I've had two. And the first company, it was based in Canada actually, it paid $16 an hour, but they gave you the hours and it would be like between like 10 to 20, so that was like a part-time thing, but uh for just to be anywhere with it and supplement income doing something else is pretty good. So that was $16 an hour. I would say for something like tutoring, customer service, even data entry, that kind of thing, could be as low as 12 and up to, let's say, 20, between 12 and 20 for like entry level remote situations, which, as cost of living, um, that works out fine. But
Yeah.
now if you get like a corporate, salary role, generally they start like 42,000 a year and up to, being realistic, let's say like 58, 60, for just, if I've seen resumes, people have like 10 years of experience in healthcare and like managers and stuff. That's a whole other thing, over 100K. But I'm kind of, talking like entry level and just kind of, bachelor's degree or maybe even high school diploma to, the more general audience. So, yeah, but for something that's hourly, between 12 and 20, and something that's salary, 45 up to 60.
Oh, okay. Okay, that ain't too bad because around
Not per,
that range,
60 annual, not per hour.
right? Okay, because I was gonna say, because annually that pretty much puts you in the top 1% as soon as you leave the state. So I mean,
You already know. Yeah, exactly. The median salary in the US is 1% globally, basically. So that's a
right?
very
So
important fact I like to share as well.
yeah, I'm like that's something that I always try to remind guys out there. So I tell don't be so down on yourself. So I'm like I was in that range. So I'm kind of like that's why I was able to take a chance on myself.
Yeah.
So so what would you say is probably like the most remote job in demand right now,
Mm. Um,
or jobs up?
right. The analyst one that I mentioned, that's all they've always needed that since the beginning of corporations, just the people that previously, you saw hundreds of people in cubicles. That's what's remote now. So, um, first of all, very important, there's something called remote first companies. If you put that in Google, it's a whole, they'll just give you a list. Always start there because they have what is it called? Basically, when you don't have a central office, fully dispersed. Yeah, that's what it's called. Fully dispersed companies and remote first companies. Those are the ones that are more likely to just have complete autonomy. Analyst, so that's financial analyst, research analyst, compliance analyst, those kind of things. The teaching English, yes, that is pretty much always in demand. It could even be companies here for like private schools, like the uh, private education type tutoring for an American-based thing that's just online remote, or international companies as well. So that's always in demand. Customer service, as you know, that's pretty in demand. But I warn people, not warn, but I just say with customer service, be cautious, because with the metrics for how they do managing customer service, a lot of times it's highly they kind of review you a lot. They have a lot of things in place to make sure you're working, and the phone call and the phone system is a little more complicated than some other stuff, but not impossible. Because if you, I know, if you get a chat based, email based kind of thing, then that can work. But I actually had an interview process with the company, and like on the third round of the interview, she was like, "Just so you know, we monitor like every second of your shift. So, there's any slip ups,
Mm.
like, micromanage hard." And I was like, I think I'm gonna pass this one up then. So, um, customer service analyst and tutoring and education within that. I think those are the top areas to look for the masses, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to tell my subscribers, because I remember I was on Facebook a couple. Well, I forgot when, but I know like as recently as maybe like a few months ago, it was like I kept seeing customer service, remote work, customer service, customer service, customer service, and I'm like, damn, is it like a real heavy demand for like remote work for customer service? And I want to say it was Amazon that kept popping up. So it's like
Mm.
Amazon like really big on remote work right now.
Well, yeah, Amazon too, but that's kind of their tech roles kind of thing. But because Amazon has so many business units, they need people to, when people call and want some help, then, they need someone in between that. So these companies are so large and offer so many things, they need people, the customers have questions and they need somebody to do that. So yeah, that's really always going to be in demand. And would you say Amazon? Yeah, Apple is a really popular one. Um, their customer service is real good, benefits and whole, how that's set up. Pretty hard to get in with them, but and that's one, even if you only have a high school diploma, I think if maybe know a little bit of another language or just been working customer service for a long time, I think you could get in with something like that with Apple. So yeah, those are first things that come to mind. Also the sales. I forgot to mention that in the other list. Always a need for sales. There's the sales to like connect with customers and make the sales. Then there's something called demand generation and generating leads. Um, Lead generation, actually, now I'm thinking about it, is just even as like freelance, and I could actually speak on freelancing a little bit, because that website that I began as a freelancer, and I used to sell homework, college homework. So that's how I first started traveling 10 years ago, selling research papers and essays.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Well, I was gonna say because that was actually what I was going to actually that might be a good segue into my next question because I wanted to get into like your story and how you got into remote work and how you got to where you are now.
oh, sure, sure. That's a perfect segue. So I graduated from Georgia State in Atlanta and studied telecommunications and journalism with a minor in Spanish and French. Um, and for could have done CNN or done all that stuff at the college, but I was like, man, I want to get out of here. Simply because my whole thing, this is 10 years ago. I said inflation and racism. That's the two things I'm like, can't deal with it. I'm out. And not that those things don't exist elsewhere, but at the time, just getting out of college is what I wanted to do. So I was running class cruise control and helping people with research studies and just their homework and stuff. And the word of mouth from that grew enough to where I was making pretty decent money. Nothing crazy, but like, I was like maybe 22 or something, and it was maybe like 25,000 a year. But this is freelance, so it's, just all coming in my pocket. So I went to, I think I started in like DR and the Caribbean. I've been to a lot of Central America, South America, just pretty much almost every Caribbean island, and then Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, that kind of stuff. But how I really transitioned, and this is another gem, I got a job in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is the U.S., but I mean, when you're there, you feel like another place. But I got a job in Puerto Rico through a program called Workaway, Work Exchange, and Workaway. Very valuable to look into for just kind of low cost traveling or find a way to have an accommodation. And it's basically where you can volunteer. It's volunteering, and you like work at like a guest house or just probably just a bunch of different stuff, and maybe 10, 15 hours a week, and you get accommodation. But I got the opportunity to actually get a job with that same program, and I was a manager for a hostel. Um, and which is like like small guest house. You familiar with the hostels? Okay,
Yeah.
cool, cool. Yeah. It was like a small hostel that was on the coast in Fajardo, if you know Puerto Rico, on the East Coast. And yeah, that job I had for like a year and a half, and that was pretty solid, a pretty good time. And even while having that job, I was able to go to different islands and come back and work and stuff. So that's really my Spanish, got really good doing that. And then yeah, just after that job, I just started going across the Caribbean and was working online through the freelancing. So I will say freelancing is not, easy but well worth it. Meaning like I was putting in like 60 hours a week or something crazy, getting everything done with, final exam season coming. It's like 25 different students need finals and all that stuff. So it was pretty hectic, and I always say that it's not easy, but well worth it. So it's the thing there. So I was managing a hostel in Puerto Rico, was going then started going to different islands in the Caribbean until I got to Dominica, not Dominican Republic, but Dominica. And I was there for maybe a week, and then Hurricane Maria hit, and boy, that destroyed everything. Category 5. Really wild story there. But long story short, like 3 days later, I got evacuated to Martinique and then said, all right, no more Caribbean. I love y'all, but that ain't gonna happen again ever. So it was South America time. But my business really carried me for some years, and as well as just kind of just hustles on the side, but nothing to where I have now. And I'm 30 years old, by the way. So most of the 20s was the time like learning and just, bumping my head or whatever. Fast forwarding, it was really about like 2 years ago or so, I made a transition into corporate, if you will, like salary, really looking into it. And all this years of writing experience I had, I said, okay, let me, put this together. And the first salary job I got was like an international PR company, I said that way. And I was a research analyst, and it was overnight though. It's from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. Eastern time. So
Ooh, graveyard shift.
right. So I would have been smart to go to Asia at that point and it'd be like beat the time zone.
Right.
But I went to I think it was in Mexico or just Peru or I don't know, kind of blurred. But I had to, of course, I was applying while abroad, and then in order to pick up the equipment and stuff, the permanent address was in the U.S. Had to go do that and get the equipment. And we'll get into the finer details of things like that, getting your equipment and then doing something with it. But I will say that company had a particular policy. They were a multinational company and had a policy of work wherever, because they're based in London and just have offices wherever. So I read through the whole work contract and was like, okay, what is their rule on this? And I saw that and was like, okay, cool. And it's just not to be discussed. It's like my discretion. I just get my work done. So that is how I was able to it was okay, and I made sure it was okay, but got that computer and just boop. So that overnight wasn't really working, and I was going to transition from that. Like I said, it was a PR company, research analyst. I was going to transition from that into a sales job actually, but lead generation, because one of my good friends worked for a company and he did sales, and they were hiring for demand generation, which is like the step before. So I was gonna transition into that, but it was like a 5-step interview process. And then I got to like the second round and left the other job I had, but then didn't make it to the third round. So I was like, oh no, that screwed me up. But you know what I did? I was in Mexico at that point actually. I got a job locally on the beach, like like renting the tables and chairs for the tourists and like selling drinks and stuff. So I was making
Oh,
pesos. I was unemployed, like transition from digital nomad to unemployed. Gotta get that hustle in. So I was beach waiter by day and still doing the online work by night. So and with that also, while working at the PR company, I still had a second job as a tutor. Like I said, that other tutoring company I worked for, it gave me random hours. So I'd have 4-hour shift at like 3 a.m., but I'm up anyway doing another thing. So sometimes they give me a shift during the day. So that was pretty hectic. However, that, about 2 years ago, a year ago, whatever, I went through that period of 7 months or so of unemployment. And I was going hard on LinkedIn, man, every day. The gym to be dropped. It is not easy to secure the remote role. You really have to put in like, I don't know, like 100 apps in a week. Really trying them out, and it's a little annoying because sometimes you have to, you put your information, and then on the next page they put your information again, even though they had your resume. So that's my website and stuff. If you visit it, you see I do consulting, and some of these things I talk about, I can talk about more specifically to a person's background after looking at the resume. But also those, how do I say, the hiring process is tricky. They use a lot of algorithms now, and they just keywords on your stuff to get you to the next step. But that's pretty much the thing. That 7 months was just rough. Applying, having an interview, and they'll say, okay, we're interested, but we'll talk to you and interview you, but actually hire you like 6 weeks from now. It's like, oh, come on, I want to work right now. So it took 7 months and it was rough, but finally I was able to secure a better tutoring job first, and then got the other salary job, which was a similar to the other one, kind of research analyst and writing and research based. So within my same background. And even though that company was really eager to hire, I just had to find it. So that's the thing. Your opportunities out there, and that company really needs that employee. It's just kind of where do you find it? So that's what I really help people do. Find that opportunity. So that's what I do now.
Oh, okay.
Research analyst, tutor, bilingual tutor, and still running class cruise control. They're offering different digital services.
Hold on. So as of right now, you're doing three different jobs currently at this moment.
Yeah, three income sources. I'll say the one is salary, one is part time, and the other one's like freelance. So, and on top of that, I'm actually getting going with a faceless YouTube channel, meaning like it'll, for example, it's not this, but I watch like film recaps where they just summarize a movie in like 10 minutes or something. It is something similar to that, but I'm gonna just have it to where it's just all produced in a month and just rolls out. So just getting it every way I can, man. I write articles for people. It's just but yeah, three sources of income. And I know about investing and trading and stuff, but I would never say that to be I would never tell someone that will be a reliable income source, because like only like 1 to 5% of people trade and actually hit off that. But that's still a good thing to do, just depending on like age and what you got going on.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see if you don't mind answering this question real quick.
Yeah.
It says, how is tutoring actually? I definitely would like that as a side hustle.
Oh yeah, so it's for one, what grade level you go for. My first one that I did actually was like elementary school, like K through 5, and
Oh,
I mean that's pretty easy, and it was chat based too. So it was when no calls or anything. It's just all chat, and I mean it could be hectic at times, but definitely not a strain. It's just just stay on top of it. So that was a fortunate situation because it was just chat and it was elementary school, so that was no brainer. Now, so when I have is high schoolers, and boy, sometimes I could be chat based, but I can also use multimedia. So I could do video, could do audio, or chat with them. Um, I mean, it's a bit more difficult, but I'm kind of I'm writing and research, basically a nerd anyway. So you know, literally the whole curriculum, ninth through 12th grade, and just getting random tutoring students. And I do bilingual, but sometimes I even get Haitian students who do French and Brazilians, because it's like a lot of the schools are in Florida, so they're real diverse. But that one is, once you find a workflow, it gets easier. But I mean, just to say, how is tutoring? If what grade level you go for, and if you actually have knowledge on the subject. If you sign up to be a math tutor and you're not good with math, it's not going to work out. But if you are a subject matter expert, then I would say just go for like elementary, middle school if you can. And there's a lot of ways that can be remote, because there's a lot of like startup companies and education that is transitioning online. A lot of people are getting on that wave. So even the company I work for now is only like 2 or 3 years old. So
oh, wow. Okay.
mhm. Well,
Wow.
the
All
two could be
right.
work for young, but the salary one they've been rolling for a while.
Well, okay then. So, so for the people in the chat, where are you? Well, like, what country are you in now?
Mexico, CDMX. I'm in Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico City.
Mexico City. And how long you been there?
Um, I guess about 2 weeks or so, and then I'm gonna go to the West Coast, Puerto Vallarta, that area, because I have one of my best friends opened a craft beer bar. He has an interesting story too. He went overseas because he used to cut grass with his dad and just hustle with that and just helped him like do sell stuff in shops and stuff, and saved up his money, and then he got a girlfriend over there on the West Coast of Mexico actually, and then
Mhm.
he opened up a craft beer bar a few months ago, and so, his startup costs weren't too crazy, and he's doing pretty good, making like 10,000 pesos in a month. So, yeah, it's going pretty solid.
Okay, what's the exchange rate with Mexican pesos right now?
19. It might actually be down 17. It fluctuates between 17 and 20. For 1 to 20 is just kind of the easy way to do it, but it might be like 18.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Oh, so I said 10,000. Okay, so no, he made 100,000 pesos then during the busy season. Yeah, 5 million. Yeah. And his third month of business, he did it about 100,000 pesos.
All right. I'm like, you guys in the chat, man. Ain't no excuse, man. My homie here got three different incomes, remote. Like y'all got, man, I'm telling you, I keep trying to tell him, like, bro, you just gotta grind. You just gotta put in the work. I mean, this man said at one point he was like, selling tables at tourist spots.
Yes, sir. Renting out tables and
So
umbrellas on the
I'm
beach
just
and
saying,
selling
like,
drinks.
you know what I mean? Right. Like
Yeah, and
real
if I may,
talk,
just some
man.
tips for just
Jeez.
general tips for the job seekers. Is it
Yeah,
okay if
sure.
okay. So for one, LinkedIn and Indeed, those are top two for finding jobs, and there's a lot of like other companies that can give you unique stuff. Ata.com, for example, but LinkedIn and Indeed, have your resume right and just put it into the website, like, just upload your resume and it'll automatically start, understanding like what you want to bring stuff to you. As well as in LinkedIn, when you search for a job, for example, analyst, type that in LinkedIn, and then they have the filters, so you can change when the date that they posted the job, and as well as you can set a filter to search for remote only jobs. They actually added that recently in LinkedIn, where you can search for remote only. So search for jobs that were posted within the last week, within the last month, and then remote only. And as well, you should look at post. So you should type in hiring analyst, for example, and then search for the post made within the last month or week. And it's recruiters, HR people use LinkedIn to actually say, hey, I'm hiring for this role. So it might not be in the job section, but they're saying, I'm hiring for this role. This is my email. And so I go for those two, and then actually send them a message on LinkedIn and say, hey, I applied. So that'll get their attention a bit faster. So, and as well, cover letters are annoying. A lot of jobs ask for cover letters. This is where Chat GPT can come in handy for a lot of people. There's a lot of ways you can use that thing, but Chat GPT is for your cover letters. That's a golden gem right there. And as well as VPNs and remote desktop. Those are just two general categories. When you actually do secure the remote job, like I say, you should read through the contract and understand if they have a rule around it or not. If they don't have a rule at all, okay, there's some things there. If they have a rule specifically saying you can only be in a certain place, okay, then it might be a conversation to have. But at the same time, workarounds, whatever your ethics are, there are systems in place to where you could have, for example, a mini router that's programmed for its location. So then if you're in Belgium, whatever, you put plug the router in, and it's already programmed to say, oh, actually, I'm in San Antonio, and then you hook your computer into that router. So that's a whole device that exists that should be looked into once you secure the job, just to say, all right, even if I can't, I want to have every possible backup. So remote desktop and VPN, those are two things to look into after securing the role.
Oh, okay, cool. Um, yeah, that's another question I wanted to ask you. Somebody just brought that up in the chat. What to look out for when it comes to scam remote jobs? Because
Oh
I've seen
man.
I've seen that as well. Like I'm
Mhm.
like tell the people like what to look out for, so that way they can know the difference. So that way they ain't getting scammed.
Yeah, that's actually a very good thing. I had to happen to my friend. So for one way that I hear they do it, they'll contact you, and you apply, and then they'll hit you back like, we're interested, and they'll even have another step, and then they'll get to a point where they say, okay, they'll send you equipment and ask you to like make some adjustments on it, or no, they'll say, buy a MacBook and send it to us so we can put the work software on it, and then we'll reimburse you. Yeah, I think that's how they got them to do it. So it had someone buy a MacBook and send it to them. They were like, what? And then they even paid. The point is, if they ask you to spend any money in the hiring process, that is a scam, straight up. So That's one thing to look for. When you're applying, I mean, it'll say the person that posted the job in Indeed and LinkedIn and stuff. You can see like who posted it. Just glance at that, and they should have a LinkedIn profile at least, or the person posting the role should be real. But it's almost like even if you meet a person online and they're like really like, oh hey, how you doing? Can you come over right now? You'd be kind of like, it's not the normal like process. So the hiring process unfortunately is pretty drawn out. So it's more realistic and authentic if it takes some time, if that makes sense. Whereas if it's really they really want to onboard you quickly in a matter of like days, that might be a scam. So if they ask for any equipment, you to buy any equipment beforehand, probably a scam. And if yeah, they're would want to hire you in like 2 days, it's likely a scam as well.
Oh wow. Okay. That's definitely good to know. Wow. All right. Arkham Knight Studio Night with the 4.99 super chat said,
Nice.
I would like your thoughts on Airbnb regarding remote work. I'm reluctant and still working with I'm reluctant and still working with any more Westerners.
Thoughts on Airbnb regarding remote work, meaning like staying in them or using Airbnb as an income source. Arkham, if you still here, curious if you could clarify that. And on Airbnb
Said, is this what you're
regarding
referring to? Says work as a call agent remotely. Is that what you're referring to,
oh
Arkham Knight?
like call center. Airbnb, I don't have any real estate, so I can't attest to let's see.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
said
attest
yeah.
Airbnb as an income source, but like staying in them kind of thing while working remote, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he said
Uh
call agent.
like working for Airbnb. Well, well, yeah. Oh, if you can get a job with Airbnb, they actually are one of the remote first companies I talked about. Funny enough, during the pandemic, the CEO of Airbnb was like living in like Europe somewhere and saying like, yeah, like he's like, yeah, whatever, like it shouldn't matter. So Airbnb is very remote friendly if that opportunity exists. And yeah, definitely at the entry level, any entry level position there, you can get in with them, then yeah, that's definitely one I recommend. And yeah, but yeah, I'm sorry. I guess is if does that answer the question I think you was trying to get at?
Yeah. I think that's what he was referring to. Yeah, because he said yes and then call agent. So yeah, I think that's what he was referring to.
Oh, okay, yeah, agent is another thing for like like customer service agent. So yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Okay then. All right. So let's see. Guess we can start with some of the fun stuff.
nah.
Um. When so I'm like, can you think of how many countries you have been to?
Oh yeah, actually I jotted it somewhere. I think it's like somewhere close to 12.
Okay.
The Caribbean islands, Barbados. I was just trying to go off top. Barbados, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, even though that one really. St. Thomas, even though that one's also in the same thing. Dominica, Martinique, Guadeloupe, which is like Guadeloupe's cousin. Costa Rica, Panama, and then Colombia, Ecuador, Peru. And later this year, I will do Brazil. So really, it's been in this continent. Haven't made it to Africa yet. I'll probably for me save Asia when I'm old because just kind of want to
Yeah,
stay here.
that seems to be the place everybody goes to once they get older. That seems to be a really good place to retire. Uh, so I'm like,
Mhm.
so you said you speak four languages. What all languages do you speak?
Yeah, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and English being like the fourth one. But I learned Spanish first because it was really just kind of popping out to me in high school, just taking the class so much. And then one day I was looking at a telenovela and actually like kind of understood a little bit. And then telenovelas, they have some nice actresses. So I was like, wait a minute. If I can understand and communicate with what I'm seeing on this, then like maybe I could open some doors. So I think that's what mentally made the switch. And I was maybe like ninth grade or something. So took it more serious. Um, and then toward college was actually kind of near a level of fluency from just practice. And French, I actually picked that up in like a year and a half because it's so similar. It sounds very different actually speaking and learning it, but to get the words and kind of combinations is similar to Spanish. Portuguese, I got that in like 3 months because it's very similar to Spanish. And I actually had a friend that I would Skype. She was a teacher in Brazil, Ribeirão Preto, and so we would just Skype like almost every day. And I used to used to make music, not a major, but I would actually like write lyrics in different languages and stuff for like the practice. So I would like write a song in Portuguese, and she'd help me like do the grammar and stuff like that. So pick that up pretty quickly. But yeah, so Spanish, French, Portuguese.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say everybody tells me that I should learn Portuguese too because they said if you can get like somewhat fluent in Spanish, they said 40% of Portuguese is Spanish, and even like when I
Hmm.
because even when like I would hear Austin Holloman speaking Portuguese, some of the words I'm hearing them, I'm just like, dude, I know that word, or I know this word, I know that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
who
a
does
joke. It's Portuguese. Portuguese is like speaking Spanish like this. It's like you close your nose and speak Spanish, and then you falando com nariz cerrado e já estás falando português. I see it português.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I'm over here like, damn, I'm like, but I'm both languages are beautiful. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to learn Spanish because I hear it spoken. I'm just kind of like, damn, like you just sound like you can seduce anybody with that language. I'm like, man, what? I'm like, dude, I gotta get better at my Spanish. So it's like, I mean, and what I've noticed is that when I'm like, even me being down here with the little bit of Spanish that I do know, it definitely goes a long way. Like the locals and the people are very appreciative that you're even taking the time to learn it. I mean,
Yeah.
whether you're very fluent at it or you know as little as much as I do, I'm like, but even since being down here, I'm learning a little bit more. So like it's definitely helping. Trey said
Yeah,
Portuguese.
it's all exposure. And another trick too, you gotta train the subconscious. So even when you're like sleeping, have some like audio book in Portuguese or Spanish, whatever, playing in your ears. You just gotta brainwash yourself. But yeah, that's good though. You're in a perfect position, and really flipping that switch too. That friend that owns that craft bar in Mexico, uh, he let's just say this in high school, I would have never thought he would have did outside his culture. But now he's doing that. But he's always had a thing where he's like, I don't really want to know Spanish because I don't want to understand what they're saying in the bars, which is like, what? It's so stupid. But now, when he speaks to like her father, he's like complete Spanish, and he's able to like understand and just respond like, oh, he was not even trying, but it's just the exposure is so there that he just speaks it. So once you actually want to and open up your brain to take it in, and it goes way faster. So even if you don't try, you can learn.
Okay. Somebody had an interesting question because even I kind of wanted to know this. Uh,
Yeah.
he said, "How is Dominica?" And I would love to go there and Belize because I've heard of Dominica only recently because I know some people might get it confused with Dominican Republic.
Yeah, with Dominican Republic, yeah.
It's not DR, you
Yeah,
guys.
very
Dominica
different. It is
is its
like
own country.
98% black. So that's for one. It's a black island. Uh how is it? Beautiful for one. Unfortunately, the hurricane, kind of messed up things. That was years ago and everything's kind of regrown. But for one, Bouillon Soca, if you know, you know. I'm very curious if anybody in chat knows what that is. Soca music, people know that, but Bouillon Soca is really so when it comes to the party culture, oh my God, you thought Jamaica was with their dancing, how you put. So they really go in there. So the I just say the local culture, the music they listen to, and the way they do the parties and nightlife and stuff is pretty cool. Um, it's like in some aspects, kind of like a mini Jamaica. In the way that, like, for example, I went to the spot I love to eat at when I just went into town. New guys just coming in to eat the most delicious food ever. But like the service, the lady like never said a word. I just came in and she's like, "What you want?" And she didn't say what you want. She just looked at me like, "Man, please have the thing, please." Never said anything, but then I eat the food. It's delicious. So that's very Caribbean culture. So beautiful place. Belize, I haven't been there, but one thing I can say is it's a little expensive getting properties. I know it's not really properties highly abundant and competitive. So even if you're going just to rent, you expect to pay a little more um, to rent there. So Barbados, though, Barbados and Dominica, for as far as just going to the Caribbean, those are my top two. Barbados, they have fish fry and oysters, and it's just beautiful waters, tourist area, nice. So Dominica is not too much of tourist infrastructure, but I mean, you just have a good time. Everybody's friendly, it's chill. But Barbados they have a little more tourist infrastructure and very nice. And that's English speaking, if people didn't know. And they actually have you can get a working digital nomad visa over there too. Is kind of how Colombia opened up one. Barbados is very inviting for people to live over there and work. So yeah, this place to check out.
No, okay,
And
then. Wow.
From Florida, I think you get there for like $300. They got one of the airlines has a good deal with Barbados.
Oh, okay. Have you ever been to Panama?
Yeah, I was in Panama when I was in college, like years ago. And funny enough, it's like maybe 10 years ago. And when I went, it was so much construction going on. It was kind of, uh, I guess, New Yorkish, kind of like city vibes, but then it could change pretty quick once you go to like the nature areas. But yeah, it was a lot of construction going on. And I said to myself, like, in a few years, decades, whatever, when they finish all this, it's definitely going to be a very popping spot because they got like just a lot of stuff going on. I was only there for like a week or so, and actually had a crazy experience because this taxi guy he made it sound like, oh yeah, I'll take you to the airport for free, is what I thought. And then we get to the airport, and he was like, "Oh no, you owe me some money." And so that was, I was young, I was just like, "Oh no!" But fortunately, made it out of there. So that's all I can say. Just make sure you coordinate your taxi for the airport and be ready to pay that. But yeah, Panama's chill. Accent
Wow.
is a little tough, Spanish wise, but like Puerto Rico and Panama are pretty tough to, have an ear for fluency wise though.
Okay. I'm like, that's actually one of the things that I struggle with more than anything. I think I struggle comprehending and hearing Spanish because, especially where I'm at, because I'm on the coast and they call coast people costeños,
Costeña,
and
yeah.
and oh my God, they speak so fast, and it's like
Hmm.
I'm just over here telling them like más lento, like you gotta slow that down for me, like, because I'm not on that level yet, so I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's why I've been in Puerto Rico like early on really helped me out because then I'm in Mexico. It's like, oh, it's like chopped and screwed. I got this.
yeah, for real, man. Like, well, I'm like, and
Mhm.
that reminds me, speak Spanish now in the chat. I gotta make sure I subscribe to your channel, because I'm like, I know I've been watching. There's a lady, she subscribed to my channel. Her name is Luke Kingsley 20. She's from, I'm trying to think. I think she's from Nicaragua, but she
Mm.
lives in Venice. But she was raised in Venezuela.
Oh
I want
wow.
to say, I want to say she lives in either Florida or California right now. I'm not sure. Crazy too, man. I'm like the B56. She looks, man. That's another reason why I love Latin women. They age so well. Like the woman, man. These women are in their 50s, and I'm looking at them like. Like, man, look, if I wasn't trying to have kids and a family,
You have some
boy,
sugar mamitas azucaradas.
boy, you hear me? I'm like, man, listen, all right. So speaking of the ladies, like, what's been your experience, well, with the ladies in the countries that you've been in? Like, have you had anything like serious, or you just kind of been like and doing your thing?
Yeah, actually, the most serious relationship I had was in Peru. I was had the intention to marry a Peruvian girl, and that was one of the more serious ones. I'll touch on that, but just really, it's just kind of been dating and seeing what's up. And in my 20s, I still kind of am a little marriage minded, but I kind of have a whole vision for stuff. I don't farm and kids and all that stuff, so I kind of want to live like they did in the year five. But I mean, we still gonna we'll be good, but that's kind of I just have a different vision on that kind of thing. But in the 20s, I was really going all these places and meet beautiful women all over the place. I'm like, oh, maybe she'd be the one. Maybe she'd be the one. And, not, simping out or nothing, but just really optimistic on the prospects. But just still taking time with stuff. So, just kind of chilling and dating around the place. I've been a fan and I am an investor in Tinder since that app has been around for a long time. It's just like a beacon. It's like a quick little billboard, let them know you're in the zone. So, uh, but when it comes to a serious relationship I had a couple years ago when I was living in Peru, that was very interesting, man. She came from money. Her mom had like a chain of like butcher shops, basically. So you got the cow, and then all of a sudden you got the filet mignon steak. They did the whole process from that, and her mom was like actually like millionaire in USD, and so she was high class, and I'm not low class, but I'm just, real ninja. So, not a fancy guy, but she was like, kind of a bougie girl. So that was an interesting cross class, not even cross culture, but just cross class relationship. So, but it was cool, man. We was really into each other. And honestly, it didn't work out because I thought, okay, I got the most beautiful girl I could find, and we're gonna get married, and I'll figure it out now. We'll figure it out now. It's not the way to go. I need to have it figured out. Whatever it is, all right, I'm okay. I'm going this way, coming me this way. So that was just a bad formula. So I put it on me. There's a little relationship stuff, but at the end of the day, that was kind of the mistake I made there. Just having to kind of be the end goal. So now, I'm just working more income, and just a little more able to discern what I'm looking for. But I'll say that, yeah. And then in my 20s, young guy working the digital, I say I was maybe 24 or something, and I first went to Colombia, Bogota, Medellin. It was just like, oh wow, this was the kind of thing. But that was just young stuff. So now it's just kind of more chill, casual till like 30. I'll say about 35. Give myself a soft deadline to maybe be serious or whatever. So yeah, it's I done seen, when I was younger, I was more so just going in the dark alleys and whatnot. But I'm older, is real. Uh, so I would say because I'm about my business and can be in a decent setup because of income and stuff. I can increase the standard of what I'm looking for, and just kind of you know discern and choose at my leisure with an abundance mindset. That's what I'll say. But that was just learned over time. One learns that anyway, but just kind of seeing so many faces and places and being able to communicate with so many things, just so much information to take in. Now I can just, calmly live globally and kind of date globally, but I don't have to lie about anything, no false expectations, just, keep it real and see what happens.
Okay then. Somebody was asking, what programs and classes online to learn Spanish?
Programs and classes. So I don't think people should. Well, okay, you can get a tutor, for example, and speak with them. But let me just say it this way: there's a lot of media. I think the key is to change as much media that you're taking into the target language. For example, changing your phone into Spanish, putting Spanish voice or captions on your Netflix, uh, music, just starting to classical music and podcast and news, especially audiobooks, all of those things you can get off YouTube, and that's just all different media sources. Even if you don't understand it, just take it all in. And in complement with that, there was an app, or it probably still exists. Hello Talk is an app that's just like a chat app for international. It's kind of hard to explain, almost like chat roulette kind of thing, but for just talking to people around the world, and pretty much just getting a language buddy to just have conversations with. Like I say, I was like writing songs and Skyping with somebody and just having a conversation. I don't know what I guess that is kind of a program. The Hello Talk is like an app, but either Hello Talk or Tinder with the feature where you can change your location and then just say, "Oh, I'm just on here to find people to speak with and just exchange language." People love that, girls love that. So, but to actually do it for the practice, not trying to date or whatever. So, you know, The dating apps for the purpose of transitioning it into language buddies, as well as Duolingo and the things like that, just to practice and expose yourself to it in the game. But most importantly, as much media as possible. Music and audiobooks and podcasts and news. News is good too. It's like current events. You can hear the words. Like for like the train derailed in Ohio. They were talking about. If you hear that in Spanish, you'll know the situation in the context, but hear it in another language. So that's good too. Current events, and then audiobooks are just like the classics. Look, Harry Potter in Spanish, so stuff like that.
Oh, okay, cool. I wanna transition back to Peru. Not necessarily your situation with the woman, but the country per se, because that's actually
Yeah.
one of the countries that I want to go to because
Oh yeah, yeah.
um, damn, I'm hope I'm not getting it mixed up with Chile because there is a couple of, I guess you could say, like bucket list. I guess you can call them like bucket list places. Does Peru have the I think there's like like a city or a neighborhood that's like surrounded by like sand dunes. You know
Oh,
what I'm
oh
talking
yeah.
about?
Huancachina, I think. It's something. It's Huanca something. I think it's like Huancachina.
Yeah,
But yeah, they
something
have a
like
few,
that.
and yeah, you could do sandboarding out there.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I want to do. I want to go sandboard, man. That
okay,
looks
yeah,
so
Peru does have
cool.
that. Yeah, Peru
Yeah,
does have
that's
that. I
what
was in Lima,
I'm
and they have a night, man. Lima's nice, man. They you know, some high class going on there. And then as you go outside of the city, they got like, the country in the US. When you say like, oh, in the country, they got the country over there, their version of it, and they got the beach and everything. Very different. So for a tourist trip, going all through there, they have all different ecosystems, which I enjoy. And the Amazon jungle touches them. So that's a whole nother experience as well. So I highly recommend it, honestly. And they on that note, they uh the protest and the political situation, bro. Even when I was there, but they had like 4 presidents in like 2 years, bro. I ain't never seen anything like that. So and it's
what?
still, yeah, they switch presidents a lot. Um, and so you'll hear about the political situation, and it might be a caution. It might even the Department of State would be like, "Hey, watch out." But you would be all right. I mean, you will know if it were to be like super real. But if you're thinking about going there in the next like few months, and people are like, "Oh, the political situation," it's not. It wouldn't be a big deal.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, Trey. Trey. That's the spot we was talking about.
Wakachina. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, okay, glad I remember
There's
it.
there's something else that I want to see in I think this is in Peru too. They have mountains that are like a whole bunch of different various colors. Is that in
That
Peru
might be
too?
Bolivia. Um, I think that's
Because I
Bolivia. They have salt flats,
I know it's on. I know it's. I'm
maybe.
pretty sure it's on the west. It's on the west coast of South America. It's either Peru or Chile. I can't remember
Oh,
which
is
one.
it like Rainbow Mountains kind of?
Yeah, Rainbow Mountains. Yeah.
I don't know. That could be Chile, Argentina, or Bolivia. It's somewhere over there, but I don't think that one's in Peru. But I am not sure. Yeah, that would be amazing to witness, though. It's like, how did the creator even do that?
Yeah, because how in the hell did those mountains end up like that? That's mind blowing to me. Like
Mhm.
there's even a couple of like places that I want to see in Colombia. One of them I'm actually not too far from Santa Rosa. They got like a hot water. They got a resort that's set up around a bunch of hot water springs. I'm like, man,
Ecuador has a lot of
this
those too. Baños
yeah,
termales.
yeah.
Yeah,
So Santa Rosa, from what I can tell, looks like it couldn't be no more than maybe about an hour or two away from here. I'm like,
nice.
but that's somewhere I would like if I had a little shorty, that's somewhere I would go. That's not somewhere I would go like by myself.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah, that's always the thing. I'll pull the tourist car. I'll live in the city, but I'll pull the tourist car so fast. Like, oh yeah, what you doing this weekend? Let's go see that thing or whatever. And a lot of times, even people locally that live in that country, like, oh, I never even went to go see that. So that's always a good
yeah,
trick right there, or a good tactic.
yeah. Because I met up with somebody down here like my first weekend down here. He was saying the same thing. He said, it's like it's some girls you meet up with, like you have them come in town or you'll go over here, and they say they never been there, so it's like a lot more appreciative of it. Um, see, we got a super chat here. The Coldest Jenkins with the $2 super chat. He says, "You're a wealth of knowledge." He said, "What?" He said, "What D nine
What
frat
be
you?"
now, right? Oh, that's well. Thank you very much. But both of those statements are compliments. But no, I didn't pledge. I didn't pledge. I have two best friends who they did, but nah, uh, I'm I didn't pledge. But thank you though. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, what, so like in, so what other countries do you want to go to, or like, are you planning on going to in the future?
It's a good question. I do want to make my way to Africa. Well, actually, I'm gonna go to Brazil because my best friend is gonna open a posada, is what it's called, something like a house, like a guest house in
Yeah,
Salvador, Brazil, actually. And so he's in the process of getting investments together, opening it, and just like how 10 years ago in Puerto Rico, I managed the hostel. Now the evolution of that, helping him manage the guest house when that gets open. So Brazil is on the list, and make my way there, and then Africa next year, probably starting in Ghana and just going through. But like I said, with this French and Portuguese, I know there's some there, Cote d'Ivoire and Angola. I definitely actually want to see Angola because kuduro music is that's a type of music over there. It's like aggressive, like dance music. That helped me get Portuguese down, and just I would listen to like Brazilian Spanish, and then I listen to African. Oh no, I would listen to Brazilian Portuguese and listen to African Portuguese. Obviously, not listen to Portugal Portuguese because like for what? But that's how I would try go to the places in there where I can use the French and Portuguese once I get over there.
yeah. I just wanted to. Okay, yeah.
Oh, it's in
I
Peru.
want.
Oh, okay. Grandma's in Peru. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never.
I thought
Okay.
they were in Peru because there's somebody that I follow recently on Instagram, and it's like he pretty much just like shows you all these different kind of like spots that you probably wouldn't think of. And I
Hmm.
know there's like a river, or like there's like a river somewhere in Colombia that's similar, where like the I don't know if it's like rocks or underneath the water that are like similar to the colors that you would see those rainbow mountains in Peru too. It's somewhere like in the middle of nowhere, Colombia. I'm like, I want to. So it's like that and the hot water springs of Santa Rosa. Those are like the two places that I want to go to in Colombia that I know ain't nobody ain't nobody even thinking about these spots. And I'm like, I definitely want to see those two spots in Colombia, and I want to see those rainbow mountains in Peru, and I want to go um, sandboarding in Peru because that just looks fun as hell. I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
those are the experiences, man. You gotta get those experiences. It's a big planet out there, so to see the most amazing things possible. That's what's up.
right. Intech one with the $2 super chat says Philippines is wife capital. It seems
Um,
to be, man. I'm looking forward to it because that's actually where I plan on going to next. After this, I'm gonna go to the Philippines, and then I'm gonna go to Thailand. Then from there, it's kind of a toss up because a lot of people been pushing Germany on me.
mhm.
But if I don't go to Germany, I'm thinking about doing kind of like I guess you can call like a Southeast Asia tour because the flights are so cheap going from one country over to the next because
Right.
you got like Malaysia, Laos, Cambodia, Indonesia, all in that area, and all of the flights are so cheap, including Vietnam. So I'm like, I
Hmm.
might go that route, but I don't know. It's like everybody keeps telling me like, Jerome, you got to go to Germany. You got to go to Germany. You got to go to Germany. I'm like,
Well, yeah, Germany. I heard we will be appreciated. So,
yeah, I
and
heard we're
then like
loved.
you were saying, what the thing you can go to other European countries pretty easy too, like taking trains and whatnot. So you could either one, you can still do a tour.
Yep, yep. Because there's a YouTuber, let's see, Andre and Andre Love Crossing Borders.
Hmm.
Because originally I was supposed to meet him in Batting Kid because they had planned on coming to Carnival too. But he said, you know what? He said, man, I ain't gonna be able to do it. He said, me and wifey going to Europe. Said we gonna do
Oh, how
like
about
he said we
that?
gonna do like a little Europe tour, and dude, I'm so jealous because I'm like, and I know I'm a little bit of an eyeball for this, but dude, I have to go to Switzerland, man, one day. Switzerland just looks like one of the most beautiful places on the planet. I'm like, just the mountains, the water. I'm like, it just looks so peaceful. I'm like, dude, if I can afford to, I'm like, dude, I would retire in Switzerland, man. It looks like you
Okay.
can just go there. Well, I won't say retire because I know when it gets cold, I
Yeah, I
probably
mean, if
won't
you
be
could deal
able to
with
do it.
cold, I'm from the north.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with the cold. I'm like, I still can't get over Ace Live going to Antarctica. I'm like,
Yeah, I actually did see that. Yeah.
man, like, dude. But I'm like, I would say I would probably hit up Switzerland during the summer because I'm like, I'm like, if you want to, people always say, you'll see the bluest and clearest waters when you go to places like Belize and the Caribbeans. But I'm like, dude, I'm like, I don't know, man. Switzerland probably giving them Caribbeans a run for their money, man. The stuff that I see, man, I'm like, that's some of the bluest and clearest water I've ever seen. I'm like, oh my god. And then to top it off, you got the mountains at the backdrop, and then you got the train kind of like going around the mountains too. And I'm just like, dude,
Hey,
bro.
just keep the channel growing and everything. It'll take you there.
Yeah, for real. That's the goal, man. Okay, speak Spanish now. He said he just said he grew up in Germany. Okay, that's
Oh,
cool.
nice. Was it Air Force? My parents was Air Force. We was in Pittsburgh for a while.
Oh, okay, then that's what's up, man. I'm like, I ain't know speak Spanish now. Grew up in Germany. That's dope. Wow. So what other places did you want to travel? You said Africa.
Yeah, a
I
bit of
know you mentioned Ghana.
Africa.
But somebody in the
Uh,
chat mentioned Ghana too. Because
yeah, Ghana, of
me
course. I want to go to the
personally,
Gate of Return.
I want to go to Ethiopia,
Mm.
Egypt because I want to see the pyramids. Um, see what else? What other? Oh, Morocco and Kenya and Somalia. I think that's yeah. Oh my god,
That's
dude.
nice, man. That's nice. I mean, for me, I do want to settle and get some land within the next 5, 10 years. So one thing is kind of traveling for the experiences, but I'm also kind of strategically seeing where I'm gonna get that plot of land for the farm later, kind of thing. So I'll use the opportunities I have to see the world and do it and stuff. But like the adventure trek, like you gonna go on, I'll just kind of watch it from afar and pace it out. But Europe, I definitely doing like the whole Western Europe tour. I'm not too fascinated with Europe, but because it's so easy to travel between it, I would just find the time because my job actually gives a decent amount of vacation days. That would be one where I would actually just like do an actual vacation and just kind of speed through all that. I'd have Tinder on fire before I get to the next city, change my location, and be like, hey, all right, so where we going to that one? All right, next location, Luxembourg.
Real. I'm like that. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. I did the same thing before I came to Batakia, man. I'm like, it seemed like as soon as I got down here, it was like damn, like my phone blowing up. I'm like, damn, I'm like, I just got here. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I've probably had, dude. I don't know. I honestly, I lost count of the amount of matches that I've gotten off of Tinder since getting down here, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's
The
abundant.
funny thing is, I'm kind of surprised because even though I'm in Batakia, I'm getting a lot of matches from women in Cartagena, and I know it's not far
Mm.
from here, but I'm just kind of like, damn. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Y'all gonna come into town for Carnival? Like
Yeah, they the
what?
ones changing their location. Yeah, they the ones
What's good?
putting their location where you at.
Right. So I'm over here like, all right, man. So yeah. Let's see. I want to see if anybody else had any questions for you. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap up here in a little bit. Uh, did you like? I'm like, did you have any questions for me or anything you want to say to the people?
Um, well, nah, I'm not, like I said, I've been watching the channel for a while, so I kind of caught up on a lot of the stuff you're doing and putting out there. Well, you did mention that. Or how long are you gonna be in Colombia, actually?
I'm actually gonna be in Colombia for. Hold on, you guys. I gotta go off cam for a second. Give me 1 second, you guys.
Well, on the note of just anything to say with the remote job search, like I say, LinkedIn and Indeed, and using those filters, looking for stuff that's posted recently. Every week, you should look at what was posted that week, and then the next week, start changing the filter for this week, so you kind of get the freshest roles. So use those filters and search in LinkedIn the post like directly from recruiters, and if you can, send them a message. Cover letters, I would recommend Chat GPT or making multiple cover letters because they're going to ask you for that information. You put in your resume and then still ask you again what's your name, da, da, da. So cover letters are good. Use ChatGPT to help with those, so you can just apply to like 10, 15 jobs in a day. As far as my website, Class Cruise Control, um, pretty much on there. If you don't want to place an order, actually, it's not in place. Oh, that actually is what I want to mention. What Class Cruise Control, what it's doing now, and what I really want to offer is remote job consultation. And what that is going to be is just list of jobs sent either daily or weekly to people based on their resume. So that's the core service want to offer, just so you can search it yourself, and I'm telling you the keys. But or if you want to just pay for the convenience and have it come to you, then there's that, as well as just kind of different services and tips to work with the HR algorithms, because human resources does use a lot of technology that filters stuff, and then you finally come across the desk of a person. So there's a lot of things you can do to kind of get the attention of that person who is on the other side of that application. So yeah, when it comes to, if you visit my website and do what says the order form or just the inquiry, that's actually, can just be an email. So if anybody just wants to just reach out for questions and that kind of stuff, I open that avenue. And yeah, so remote work is really hot right now. It's the future, and I want as many people as possible, from all backgrounds, whatever, to secure it and take it serious and build a future off of it.
Okay, that's what's up. I got his website on the screen, you guys. Um, and just to finish, I'm like, my bad, you guys. I had to give my people change because I'm over here preparing for the carnival. I had to get my
Ooh,
carnival
yeah,
t-shirt.
most time.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna be here till the 27th.
Oh, okay.
I've been here. I've pretty much been here all month. I flew out on the 31st of January, and the reason why I did that is because like after pretty much from February 1st on, it's pretty much I guess I forgot what they call it, high. That is when the prices go up for the
Mm-hmm.
flight. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and fly out on the 31st, because it's like after the 31st, the flights went from like $600 all the way up to like 800, and I was like, nah, let me go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, man, that happens.
I'm like, I'll save me them couple $100 and I'll just go a day early. So yeah, and then I'm flying back out the 27th, and my plan is to go to the Philippines probably mid to late March, and then I'm
Mentally.
probably gonna stay out there to probably stay out there to probably well, I'm probably gonna go to Thailand. Like what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go to Thailand the week of Songkran, because that's the same week the Rolling Loud concert is supposed to be out
Oh
there.
my goodness, you gonna go to that Rolling Loud?
Yeah,
Oh
dude, the
man,
lineup, bro. Richie Mack told me
you
what the
might have
lineup
40K
was.
subscribers at that point, and then even from that, it's gonna be
Yo, I'm like for real. I'm hoping things blow up when I go to the Philippines, because I don't know what it is, but the Filipino community is like showing me so much love, man. And like there's a few women that I've had on the panel that are Filipinas that like they've already reached out to me and told me they'll be my tour guide. Um, Very friendly, beautiful women. So I think that'll definitely make for good content, because I've already had them on my channel before. So it's going to be interesting, being with them face to face and one on one. So it's going to be interesting to see what that's like. And I'm looking forward to Thailand just because, for one, I'm finally going to be able to meet Richie Mack for the first time.
oh yeah.
He's been pretty instrumental in my channel growing to where it is now, because he was the first person that I reacted to that was in this
Mm-hmm.
space.
Mm-hmm.
So and he was also the first content creator to like respond back and like show me love and say, hey, I appreciate you reacting to my channel. And he's literally seen my growth from the beginning. So I got all the love and the respect in the world for him. So like hopefully I'll be able to get a interview or collab with him or something. And there's a lot of other YouTube content creators that are out there right now as well, like Austin Holloman, Travelversity,
Hmm.
BMT. These are all other guys that I follow too. So I
Yeah, I think
definitely
Rolling
think
Loud
that's
is
going
going
to
to turn
make
into a big meetup, like the content creators, especially black, because Rolling Loud, of course, the black content creators, like, come on, like, yeah. So I think that's going to be a movie.
Yeah, for sure, man. So like I'm definitely looking forward to the Philippines and Thailand, in the next couple months. I think that's when things should really like, go to another level. Yeah, man, for sure. I know like I got invited to a wedding in Cartagena in June from one of my subscribers. So Antonio, if you're watching, hey, I haven't forgot about you, man. I have not forgot about you. And then I might end up back in Thailand in July because that's when Richie Mack is having his 100K subscriber party.
Oh, wow.
So I might go. I'm like, cause he invited me out, and so that's probably gonna be another get together with a whole bunch of YouTubers. So I'm like, I definitely want to come out there for that. Um, I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to hit as many countries as I possibly can. Like, I'm trying to fill up that passport.
Yeah,
I,
it's the
I
time,
really am.
man. It's the time. So we you don't have a whole audience watching. You see it. I mean, they watching now. So it's really inspiring for people who's kind of thought of it like, is it possible? How just seeing it unfold. So that's good, man. Oh, so,
Yeah, definitely.
one other note I wanted to add, I'm gonna be opening an affiliate marketing thing, but a private invitation only kind of thing for the remote job service I have. So that'll be something I roll out later. But people who follow the site and stay in tune to it, pretty much for the services you see on there, I have a pretty solid commission structure that I'm gonna have. So if it will turn into a job promoting remote jobs. Not to say I could provide it for everyone, but people with marketing background or even people that make content, that's an opportunity there. So for anyone listening and has a marketing background or content creation or influencer, that kind of thing, you can hit me up and have a nice commission structure for affiliate marketing with it too. So I wanted to throw that in there.
All right, cool. So I'm like, the website, is this where they can reach you at, or is there
Yeah.
anywhere
Yeah,
they can
class
reach?
cruise control, and then there's a thing that says like make an order and order inquiry, a thing like that, and it's just like a message form. That'll pretty much go to. Well, I see every email that goes into that. So, especially over the next, today and all, I'll personally, I have people that help me in virtual assistants, but I'll be having my own eye on it. So, getting in touch with everybody who does come in through this. And I really want to say, man, I really appreciate this. I reached out to you, but like you said, you got back to me fast. And like I say, I'm genuine, sincere. I dropped as many gems as I could. So as people, go back and access this, I hope they really get some value from it. So I really, really appreciate the platform and opportunity.
Man, and I appreciate you coming on because this has been highly requested. And judging about the number of viewers that I've seen come in and out of here, I can definitely tell because man, you don't know how much guys have been hounding me like, bro, Jerome, man, like what's up, man? Put me, yo, like who can I run to for the remote shot? I'm like, bro, I'm like you, like I said, bro, it was like you were like a god saying it. Like it seemed like when everybody was asking me about it, it's like you reached out to me, and I was
It came to you,
like,
yep. And that's the
bro, I couldn't
beauty of the
I couldn't
platform
email you
too.
back
It's
fast enough because I'm like because I
just-
get so many emails between guys reaching out to me, like you did, and like even because like I'm still can't get over the fact that I had the Filipina Sharon. I was just on her channel the other day. She
yeah,
reached out
yeah.
she reached out to me and was like, "Yeah, you want to interview on my channel?" I'm like,
Like, yeah,
Sharon Loop. I'm like Sharon
yeah.
Lupa Lupa. I'm like, man, I've seen you on people's channels that got more subs than me. Like you want me on your yeah.
Yeah, people
So I'm
watching,
just
man.
like,
People are really watching internationally because it's such a, the whole big conversation going on right now. So people are just taking in our information. So, because you're sincere in your approach, it'll really attract the stars.
man, yo, I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate you from coming on.
Yes, sir.
Um, King, I like Kingsley. This is his website, you guys. Please reach out to him. I know a lot of you guys been asking me, hey, like we were finally able to deliver. And again, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate you, man.
You're very, very welcome, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Yo, man, I'm so happy I was finally able to get somebody who had the connections with the remote jobs, you guys. I really do, man. I know everybody been asking for this. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like and share this, you guys, because I know there's probably somebody that's not watching who's probably been asking me about this. Please, please, please let them know about this. Please share this with everybody, okay? Please, please do that for me, all right? I think I saw somebody speak Spanish now. What did you say? Say he'll be in Colombia next week in Cartagena, so we definitely need to get up. I'll hit you up on the WhatsApp group. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely. We'll do that for sure. Let's see, next week. Oh yeah, yeah. It's only the 16th. Yeah, I'm not leaving till the 27th, man. So yeah, we can see if we can make something shake. Cause I'm like, cause for real, speak Spanish now. I might actually, depending on how things look next week. Cause I was actually supposed to go to Puerto Colombia this week, but uh, I don't even know if I should tell y'all this story or not. Oh, man, Bell, you still in the chat? No, Bell and Eric in the chat. Should I go ahead and tell them this story? I'm like, I don't know. I guess they can learn from it. I'm like, should I go ahead and tell them? Yeah, Gangsty Gummy Bear, bro. I'm like, I've seen pictures of Somalian women. Those women are gorgeous. That smooth, chocolatey skin. Good God. Good God. Them women look like Hershey chocolates. Um. Oh, so my plan. I'm thinking probably. I haven't made an official date yet because I haven't booked it. I'm kind of waiting to leave from here to book it just to kind of see how things go. I'll further explain because I'm kind of going to vlog my situation when I get back home. Um, but if everything goes the way it's supposed to, I'm probably going to leave for the Philippines probably like March 20th, March 21st. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I was supposed to go to Puerto Colombia yesterday. And I think this is gonna be a learning lesson from you guys because I'm learning as well. Um, so for you guys that watch my travel vlog channel, if you saw the guy that had the white shirt and the white hat that I was wearing too when I was, over there fooling, having a good time, um, that's somebody that I met through Facebook. They looked out for me that night at Quachana. I had a great time. Um, I've been telling him, because originally he was supposed to introduce me to a girl down here that knows English. Well, the girl that knows English ends up getting the boob job. So she's pretty much like out of commission right now. So he was going to introduce me to another girl, doesn't speak English, and he doesn't really speak English either. So he introduced me because matter of fact, I think I might have showed y'all. I think I showed y'all a picture of her the last time I went live, and we all three of us were supposed to go to Puerto Colombia yesterday, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm like, okay, I know this is a nice beach. I've actually seen Ace Live go to this beach. I know it's a nice place. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Beautiful girl. All right, we're gonna get some really good content. So as we're about to, I'm over here trying to get the information to my driver and everything and get everything set up. So I'm over here telling them like, hey, y'all like y'all gonna like you gonna help out with the cab fare, right? Nah, we ain't got no money. Now, mind you, I just spent Quacherno with this guy. Like they already had a whiskey bottle, they was already drinking. Like so, I'm like, I mean, I understand economic issues in Colombia. I get it because I've talked to many other women since I've been down here, and they're like a lot of them are struggling to keep a job or get work. I get it, but y'all had money that night I was with y'all. Now all of a sudden y'all don't got y'all can't even. I'm like you can't even afford to at least cover. I mean, as a man, at least cover your part. Because what's the sense of me paying for you and the girl that I'm supposed to be meeting up with through you? Essentially, it just kind of came off like two people was trying to get a free day at the beach when my whole purpose was to meet this girl and get to know her and have a good time with her. Now, mind you, I'm not one of these. Oh, let's split the bill. Let's go half half. Nah, I'm gonna cover me and old girl. The guy that it's, dude. Either you're not going or you need to cover your part of the bill. And I'm like, yeah, see, exactly. So that kind of fell through, and I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed because I really wanted to get the content up for you guys because that would have made for great content. So what I did was I did exactly I did exactly what I planned on doing this anyway, but Belle agreed with me as well. She said, just let her know, exactly what you told me, exactly what you were thinking. So that's what I did. So I let her know after it fell through that that's what I would have did, and then I even went through the trouble of texting her this morning, let her know like, hey, look, good morning. If you still want to go, we can do it today or tomorrow, but just understand that I'm only paying for you and me. I'm not paying for him. Still ain't heard from her. So that right there tells you everything you need to know. And I'm telling y'all to tell to say this, just you know, even though you go to another country, you still have to vet these women. You still need to how can I still need to make sure you know staying on your square. All right. Because, I didn't come down here with that blue pill mindset. You know what I mean? Like, nah. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm nice. I don't mind spending my money. I don't mind taking women out on dates, paying for the bill. You know what I mean? I was raised that way. But yeah, I think I definitely dodged the bullet because I haven't even heard from the guy either. So I'm just letting y'all know, man. Be when y'all go to these other countries, man. Be on your p's and q's because once they know you from America, at that point, they could be sizing you up. They could be sizing you up. These people from other countries, they know how strong the dollar is. They know how strong that U.S. dollar is. All right, so yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, don't be a lick. Yeah, I'm not gonna come down here and be a lick for anybody. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a girl that I recently started that I was texting prior to coming on live, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I can respect where she's coming from. I was over here telling her like, hey, I asked her like, you going to Carnival? She said no because I don't have money. Now, mind you, after what just happened, I immediately got on defense, but played offense at the same time. I said, well, I'm like, well, what if you come with me? Then she said, "Well, no, because I have a child, and I don't, I can't, I don't have any money to, pay my peoples to babysit." Now, this woman hasn't asked me for any money. She hasn't asked me to pay for anything. But what I have noticed is that she hasn't stopped texting me because I didn't offer. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I gave her the link to this live. I'm like, she's probably watching now. So I'm just letting y'all know, man. Like when y'all go to these other countries, man, this is why I made that video a long time ago saying, should you be RP before you leave? This is why I asked that question. And Global Passport Crew said this as well, man. Bro, this is why I have so much respect for Global Passport Crew. Take whatever made you great, take whatever made you better, and take that with you wherever you go. Exactly. 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 Yeah, Mr. Bobby Wright, I did get that email. I'm surprised you ain't respond back to my response because I watched the first 30 seconds of that video and I was like, bro, is that woman drunk? I'm like, dude, I might have to do a live reaction to that. And you want to know what's sad about Mr. Bobby Wright? Ain't Miss Sheba married? She's married, but she's still on sister code. Like, man. But yeah, said don't leave your senses on the airport. Yeah, right. It ain't like it ain't go nowhere. It just goes to. I'm like, see, this is how you know I've been through some things when it comes to women, man. Because I was just like, hold on, wait a second. I could tell y'all about another situation where a girl was trying to get me to bring her in from Cartagena. She was trying to get me to pay for everything. She was just by sending her money. When I literally just had somebody that I met down here told me exactly what you need to do. I'm like, bro, if you get their ID and everything and had a bus ticket waiting for them. This woman just wanted me to blindly just give her money. So trust me, man, it's women down here, it's women in these other countries that are going to try to swindle you because they know you American and that U.S. dollar is strong. So be careful, fellas. I'm like, this has happened to me twice since I've been down here. And the messed up part about it, I don't want to say I wasn't interested in these women, but more than anything, it was about me trying to get content up because I was very upfront. Like, hey, look, I'm a YouTuber. I just want you to, show me around, show me a good time. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna do this. Blase, blase. Like this ain't, you know what I mean. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not forcing nothing, but you know, I just want you to, be my company. And and as long as you don't mind being on camera, like we all good. You know what I mean? I'll take care of the bill. But you got some women out here that I'm like, bruh, it's like, yo, you just got to be on your P's and Q's, man. That's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here because in about 15 minutes, I got literally another video premiering. Um, should be a good one too, because it's about um 50-50 relationships and how it applied to how I was brought up because I think there's a misconception that American women think of when we say 50-50 because when we say 50-50 they automatically only think about finances and when you bring up all the other stuff that's when the misconceptions start to occur. All right, so I appreciate everybody that sent the super chat, everybody that supports, everybody that showed up. I know everybody wanted this. And again, please share this video with anybody that's looking for a remote job. Kingsley dropped some gems. All right. And let's see. The website is somewhere in the chat. One of my moderators, will you please drop that for me before I get off of here? That website is in the chat. Because guys, typically ask me all the time. Let me see. Oh, no, matter of fact, I think I got it in the private chat. Let me bring it here. Yeah. Just drop it again real quick. So yeah, you guys, that's his website. You looking for a remote gig? Definitely hit him up. Please share this with anybody. Yeah. Thanks, AB. Please share this with anybody that's looking for a remote. You want to travel abroad. I appreciate Kingsley coming on here, man. And spreading the knowledge. And thank you again. Thank you guys again for coming, man. All right. I got another video premiere in about 10 minutes, so go ahead and check that out. All right. Appreciate you guys. Guess I'll go ahead and play this new track again. All right. Deuces.